maybe.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Katie Weatherly.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a chiropractor? Well, one might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Dr. Richie Forte with Limitless Chiropractic. Richie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Well, I'm really excited to learn all about you and your business. Could you tell us about your company?
Absolutely. So my wife and I started Limitless Chiropractic we'll be 2 years old next week. We've been licensed chiropractors for 8 years, but we've settled in Northwest Arkansas to raise our family. Our daughter's 10 months old, and we love it here. We started this community because, I've been in chiropractic for my whole life. My mom's a chiropractor as well. And so we wanted to share health through a more holistic and conservative option because, when somebody gets adjusted, it's not something that you can undo versus we get a lot of people that go through back surgeries and things, and we can't change that. And so we want to do something more holistic, more conservative. One thing that makes us different is my wife is actually an animal chiropractor. So not only do we see humans out of our practice, but we see dogs and cats and chickens and goats and horses and all livestock and home pets. So we can really say that we help the entire family, whether you have 2 legs or 4.
That's amazing. How'd you end up getting into this business?
My mom's a chiropractor, and so I decided to follow. I could do whatever I wanted. I wasn't pushed into anything, but I was working in her office, and I decided that this would be something to do. She looked like she had a lot of fun. And so I went to chiropractic school, and then we decided that opening our own practice was going to be something that gives us flexibility. And it's really, really fun.
That's awesome. What are some of the biggest myths or misconceptions about your industry?
Oh, there's a lot. Where can we begin? So first one is because once you go to a chiropractor, you have to go forever. That is a myth. You don't have to go forever. You don't have to do anything that's good or bad for you forever. But there are a lot of people who choose to add chiropractic into their lifestyle routine. And so that's the number one biggest misconception is once you go to a chiropractor, you have to go forever. You don't have to do anything. But it's a good idea when people feel the benefits and they want to add it to their routine. Myth number 1. Myth number 2, once you have a spinal surgery, you can never see a chiropractor. That's false. Now, if you get screws and rods put into your spine, it's a waste of your time and mine for me to work on that area. It's not movable. But if there's any areas of the spine that don't have that hardware, we can work on them because one of the things we see is the areas above and below that surgical intervention can deteriorate up to 50% quicker than other areas of the spine. So that's to absorb more motion because of the part that's no longer moving. That's another myth. And the third myth that I love is that people say chiropractic is really expensive. And it's not. Now, when you compare a chiropractic visit to a $10 copay at a primary care physician or a GP, yes, but they've done studies out of insurance companies have done studies that show that chiropractic can save tens of thousands of dollars over a patient's lifetime because they're needing less sick visits, they're needing less pharmaceutical medications, they're needing less hospital stays, hospital visits. And when they're at the hospital, they stay less days. Not that we ask people to, I don't ask anybody to get off their medications, but they go back to the doctor. And when their body's functioning better, they don't need as many meds. So chiropractic here actually is the opposite. It saves people a lot of money, but it depends on what you compare it to.
Yeah.
So
Understandable.
Those are my favorite myths about chiropractic.
Yeah. Well, we understand that marketing is the heart of every business. Who are your target customers and how do you attract them?
Target customers, I can be a blanket statement, right? Anybody with a spine should get adjusted. Okay. I do a lot of pregnancy and pediatric work. And I also do a lot of cervical curve correction work. So moms are awesome because, well, if moms have kids, then that works because I do a lot of peds and people with headaches and neck pain.
Okay.
And also our manual labor folks, our trade guys, they have issues going on. Lifting heavy things. They're in weird positions, trying to, get things working. If you're thinking, plumber under cabinets and wrapped around things, HVAC, same thing like that. And then concrete guys just lifting heavy stuff.
Yeah. Well, have you ever considered doing your own podcast?
I have. And then my daughter was born, and I don't even know where the time went. And so I'm just grateful to be a guest. We've talked about it in the past of just trying to figure out how to create something. And as you know, the hardest part is, can you do something that's consistent to gain the followers you need? A one-off doesn't necessarily work.
Yeah, totally understand that. And especially with I have my niece is about to turn 1, and I don't know how that time goes by so fast. So I'm sure you feel that with a 10-month-old.
Yeah, I feel like she was born yesterday, and her birthday is in March.
Yeah. That's next month. How?
I don't know.
Well, outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
So, what do I like to do for fun? I like to play golf.
Okay.
One thing I do also, I coach a youth soccer team outside of practice hours. That was the sport I played my whole life. I played in college for a little bit. And so it's something that I've always loved to do. And so I coach outside. My life revolves around sports, but my wife and I, we do like to road trip. We do like to travel. And so we load up our 3 dogs and now our daughter, and we head in the car and we go check things out. Like, I know we've already planned, we're going to the Omaha Zoo for her next birthday, for next year's birthday for 2. We're planners, if you haven't noticed. But fun, I like to be outside. But I also could sit and watch movies. I love it.
Fair enough. A little balance there.
The weather. Yeah, it depends on the weather.
All right. Well, Richie, can you tell us one thing that our listeners should remember about Limitless Chiropractic?
One thing that your listeners can remember about Limitless Chiropractic is, I probably have to say that we are the most thorough office in NWA. Before you could just lay down on our table, there is extensive history that we go through, physical exam testing, and we take x-rays on every patient except for 2 different types. If you're under the age of 7 or you're pregnant, are the only 2 people that don't get x-rayed in our building. And that's because we want to know what we know is what we know versus guessing. So the biggest thing is that we're the most thorough in terms of new patient intake. And some people may think that's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing because everybody will know exactly what's going on before we just pop you on the table and you snap, crackle, pop, see you later. It's a little bit more intense than that to help people really achieve what they want to.
Yeah. Well, how can our listeners learn more about Limitless?
We have a couple really cool things. So our Facebook page is live. We put a lot of stuff out on social media. So Facebook and Instagram are great. We do a live workshop every Tuesday night in our building at 5:30. They're open to the public. They're completely free. They're on different topics in health. Some are going to be more geared towards chiropractic. Some are going to be more geared toward stretching and exercise, nutrition, but all things holistic health. They're free to the community. We just ask that you call or send a text so we make sure we have enough chairs for you when you arrive. They're 30 minutes and you're out the door by 6:01.
Oh, very cool. Well, Richie, we really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all having us on, and this was a great experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpbentonville.com. That's gnpbentonville.com or call 479-888-8276.